Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the premiere episodes of Sports Junkies. I'm your host, Josh, and this is
Nikki.
We are your neighborhood-friendly sports junkies. Our lives are sports, and we're going to tell you all about them, try to make it as entertaining as possible, trying to make it funny, trying to make it just good. I guess is the word I'm looking for.
I don't know if that's going to happen, though.
But this is episode 1. We'll break it down into segments for you. Yes, number 1, Uno, not Ocho. We'll get to him later.
That's later.
Well, anyways, we'll get to our first segment of the day. This is how we're going to start off every single episode of Sports Junkies. It's called Tip Off. And we'll begin with mine. This is what the headlines of the week, the biggest things that happened in sports during the last week. I pick one and she picks one. And I'll start off with my favorite team. Not really, as you can see in my hat. My favorite baseball team is the beloved franchise, the Cleveland Indians.
I don't know.
Okay, but I'm going to talk about the World Series. The New York Yankees won it. The beloved, the franchise, the whatever you want to call them. They won their 27th World Championship. Were you excited?
I was kind of disappointed.
The Yankees won it in 6 games, 4 games to 2. I believe the final score of Game 6 was 7-3 or 7-4. Could be wrong, but whatever it was. I watched the last batter, Shane Victorino, ground out to second base, and soon as my favorite first baseman, Mark Teixeira, made the play at first base, click. You can see my hand there. Click. Turned it. I didn't watch the beloved Yankee celebration. A-Rod crying.
He cried?
Yeah, he cried on the field from what I heard.
I didn't see that.
Like my old buddy Bruce Drennan in Cleveland, and all bets are off at Sports Time Ohio. He said the same thing. He saw it click. He saw the last out. He clicked it and went to bed. I didn't go to bed, but that was a little early for me to go to bed. I'm not like 80 years old like Bruce is, but
I turned it off way earlier than that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Godzilla was MVP of the World Series. No, not really Godzilla, but the guy they call Godzilla, the ageless Hideki Matsui. I got some stats for him. He batted .615 in the World Series, which is pretty impressive off the great Phillies pitching of like Cliff Lee and Cole Hamels. And he had 3 home runs, and he had 8 RBIs in a huge game, Game 6. Which blew the game open for the Yankees, and congratulations, New York. Here's a picture right now of some of those Yankee idiots, which I'm going to call them. You can send me letters, emails, BuffyFreak1980MSN.com if you're a Yankee lover, but I call them Yankee idiots, and here's a picture of one of them celebrating, or a few of them celebrating the World Series championship at the parade in New York City, around Manhattan area. On to you. What's your big headline of the week?
All right, my headline of the week is the BYU New Mexico soccer game. It was a women's game, but the way that they were playing, especially this one player, Elizabeth Lambert, it was more of a boxing match out there on the field. She was just crazy.
I couldn't believe it when we went on YouTube and watched a few of the videos today before the show. We did a little pre-production.
Yeah, we did.
And this girl got to play the entire game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tell a couple things she did in that game.
First of all, she started out with the elbow to a back of one of the BYU players, a cute little blonde girl, and her face is priceless on that. Then she goes on to pull a girl's ponytail, not just pull it, but yanks her down onto the field by her ponytail. She throws a punch. She goes to kick a ball after a play's dead and a girl falls down, and it hits her right in the face, probably 2 feet away from her face on the ground. Blasts this girl in the face.
It's unbelievable.
I know BYU, is all
Mormon.
the Mormon school and stuff, but I don't know where her teammates is, because if I saw that going on, if that was me, I would have some retaliation.
Retaliation. In hockey, they call it dropping the gloves.
And also, in any of the pictures that we saw, there was no refs anywhere.
Yeah, and why was she not thrown out of that
I heard
game?
she got a yellow card, but that was about it.
I would have given her like a prison card or something.
That's
assault.
It was pretty brutal. BYU went on to win 1-0 though, so.
Wow.
The Mormons prevailed, but they had to fight for it, definitely, or not fight for it. But seeing it, we watched it over and over on YouTube, and it got me pretty fired up just watching it. So it was pretty crazy.
If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube and just type in Elizabeth Lambert and her name Lambert and soccer, and you should get it. And it's unbelievable. The highlights from ESPN on SportsCenter that night that it happened. It happened during this past week. Unbelievable. But that's our tip-off segment. Congrats, we made it through our first segment. Woo! All right, and I lied. That's not the end of our first segment. Cut that part. Where are we at?
Our week.
Our week. Okay. Now we're going to go to our week. This is part of the opening segment. I guess we got through the tip-off headlines. Now we're going to get into our week, which means where did we go? What did we watch in sports this week? What got us excited, got us mad? But just let you take it away because I'm talking too much.
All right, we went to the Blue Jackets Carolina Hurricane game this
past Saturday
night.
Jackets won it 3-2.
It started off as a horrible game, though, not going to lie. The first two periods.
I was doing this in the first couple periods.
We were talking.
Wake
we
me up.
never usually done that. Talking like why they were playing, not in the game at all.
What was the score after the first two periods?
1-0 Carolina. They're one of the worst teams in hockey.
Yeah, they are the worst team. They have the least amount of wins. They had came into that game on Saturday night, I believe, winless in 11 straight games.
Yeah. Although the Jackets did have a slow start, they came back in the third period, 3 goals within 2 minutes and 41 seconds of each other.
Yeah, the first 3 minutes of the game, 2:41 of that. The game goes from being 1-0 Carolina to 3-1 Blue Jackets, and tell them who had those goals in the order they scored them.
First goal was by Nikita Filatov. We say it 2 different ways, so I just let him say that.
Filatov, like the Russians.
Yeah. Then my man, which we complained about his play during the whole game. He was
and then he scores.
Giving up the puck way too easily, and then he comes in with an awesome goal. But my man, Jared Bull, had the second one, walked in on the goalie. What you're saying when
he shoots, he scores?
No, the rented goalie.
Oh, he beat him like a rented goalie.
Yeah, he did. He walked right on it,
or he beat him like a backup goalie, which he was. We'll tell more about that later in the show.
And the third one was by none other than Rick Nash, the captain.
We love you, Rick Nash. We love you. Don't ever leave Columbus.
But it was a crazy game.
Oh, and the Jackets held on. Carolina did score in the last 5 minutes of the game to make it a 1-goal game, but they pulled their goalie at the end, but couldn't get any really good shots off, and Steve Mason made some crazy saves.
Yeah.
We love you, Mason, number 1.
Definitely a home goalie.
Jersey number and number 1 goalie.
In our hearts.
Number 1 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts, Steve Mason. But the Jackets did hold on to win 3-2, and they are first place in the Central Division with 20 points. Great game. We had fun Saturday night at the Jackets game, and we're looking forward to more. We're 10-game ticket plan holders for the Blue Jackets this year. I missed 1 game because I was sick last week, but we've been to 2 games. The Jackets won them both. So the Jackets play the Red Wings coming up on Wednesday, and I spent all Saturday watching football too, by the way, at the station, listening to football and watching highlights and everything, and that was our sports for the week. So we'll be back with segment number 2, Hometown Heroes, coming up next on Sports Junkies.